Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm the Law-Abiding Savage, and as you can tell by the thumbnail today, we're going to be talking about something I think all of us as parents that are into guns, shooting, training, what have you, we all ask ourselves at some point when we have small children, when should I get them into guns? When should I allow them to start shooting? And how do I even start? And today, I'm going to be sharing with you my experience. Now, quick disclaimer, I am not telling anybody what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. I'm just going to share with you my experience. I have a 10-year-old son who I got into shooting about, I don't know, maybe about a year ago. And yeah, he's been doing great ever since. And so I just wanted to kind of share that disclaimer. You know, if you want to take your 5-year-old son and let him shoot a 4-bore, then that's on you. And you might have protective services coming to your doorstep real soon after you post that video. So let's get into some of the first steps that I did before I ever took him out to the shooting range, before I ever even let him pull that trigger for the first time. One of the first things that I did was I went over the gun safety rules. Number one is always treat every weapon as if it's loaded. The second gun safety rule is never point a firearm at anything you do not intend to shoot. Okay, so the third gun safety rule is keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you are ready to fire. The final rule is to be sure of your target and what is beyond it. You have to teach your children these safety rules so that you can make sure that you're safe, they're safe, and the people around you are safe when you take your children out shooting. So anytime you're handed that firearm or any firearm, you always clear that firearm. I personally do it. I don't care if I just watched you clear the firearm. I will grab it and I will clear it myself. For example, let me grab the Taurus Judge. Let's say I'm an individual, I'm looking at it. Oh, great gun, beautiful gun. Wow, this Taurus is really nice. Clear, it is a beautiful gun. All right, Savage, here you go. Boom, I grab it. I will immediately check it myself. All right, we're good. And on to the conversation or looking at it. And that obviously is just a good habit. And I started doing that with my son. All right, guys, I know what you guys have been waiting for, the range part. Now, what do you do at the range when you first take your child to the range? For me personally, when I first took my son to the range, I started him off with a very small caliber. I started off with the 22 caliber, 22 long rifle to be exact. One of the first guns that I allowed him to shoot was this little guy. So yeah, this was something that was very enjoyable to shoot for him. It was simple. It's actually quite a heavy gun. This is the Heritage Rough Rider in 22 long rifle. And because of that, there is almost no recoil. Another firearm that he really enjoys shooting is a firearm that my wife and I bought him for Christmas. And that is this Rossi 22. As you can see, this is clear. Kind of already had the bolt open, locked open, empty mag. It's just awesome for my son to shoot. It's a 10-round mag, and he has a blast shooting this. Now, talking about 10-round mags and the magazine capacity is another thing that will kind of just jump right into my next point. All right, so onto magazine capacity and what I gave my son and how many rounds he was able to shoot. So I put 1 round in this firearm and allowed him to shoot it, had him clear it right after, and then hand it back to me, and we went from there. Same thing, and again, it is clear. Same thing, I loaded 1 round. Thankfully, because of that, we didn't have to spend, days or hours and hours, working up to that point. And so I would say within literally 10-15 minutes, I had him shooting 4 or 5 rounds at a time. Now, another thing that I did is I moved him up pretty quickly. He got the hang of the 22 caliber very fast. And so because of that, he moved up to my 9mm. He shot my Glock 43X, he shot my Glock 19, my FN 509, and a few others fairly quickly after that, and does great. My son does great with shooting these weapons. And again, just before we move on, okay, when I started giving him a half-filled magazine or 5-6 rounds in a magazine, I make sure that he empties the magazine and he clears it to make sure that the firearm is clear and that he verbally tells me that it's clear. After he's done shooting it, he's opening it, clear, closing it, and then moving on. That way he knows and I know that that firearm is clear and we can move on. So the final thing that I'll get into is this. Okay, listen, we went over safety. We went over the caliber that you should have your child shoot. We went over so many different things. It is so important that you make sure to do this, and that is have fun. I cannot say this enough. I know some of us take this serious and we go out there and we're not playing no games and don't play around and make sure you're drawing quick, make sure you're clearing that gun, make sure you're doing all that. That's all fine and dandy and I don't have anything against that, but make sure you're having fun. Make it a good experience for your child. That way they'll continue to want to be around that environment. To all of you that are taking your children out, teaching them safety, teaching them to respect firearms, good on you. And last but not least, I do not want to end this video without saying a huge happy Father's Day to all of you dads out there, you fathers out there. And again, just happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Until next time, I'm the law-abiding savage and I'm out.